Well, I was asked where do I stand on the death penalty, or the subject of the death penalty, and I guess I would have to say I'm on the fence. Because, well, if you would have asked me about the death penalty 8 years ago, I would have said anyone who does anything bad enough to deserve it deserves it, you know. But now I feel kind of torn about it just because I feel like no human being has the right to take anybody else's life. Um, no matter what they did, you know. Nobody has the right to take someone else's life. But in the same sense, I feel like there's people out there who, who will keep continuing to do horrible things to other people. There's serial killers, there's child rapists, there's all these horrible people who will continue to do things unless they're stopped, and jail isn't a secure enough answer for me. I'm afraid that if they do get out, it's just going to happen to another person. So I feel like in those cases maybe the death penalty is necessary, but then I jump back to the whole nobody has the right to kill off those people. So what do we do with them? I also feel too sometimes that maybe a person should spend life in jail instead of the death penalty. Only because I feel like if they're in jail, they have to sit and rot away their whole life, knowing that they're in jail for what they did. But at the same time, I think a lot of these people who do what they do don't have remorse or are sociopaths. They don't think about what they've done. So that too is not a significant answer. I just don't know where I stand with it. I'm very on the fence. I also think maybe if somebody did something horrible to a loved one of mine or to me, I would wish death on them, but at the same time I wouldn't be able to kill them just because I feel like I don't have the right to take their life. Um, to me, I think life is it should be held very highly, and it seems like a lot of people don't hold life at a high standard anymore. It seems like life is very disposable. And same thing with abortion. I'm very on the fence with abortion. About, 8 years ago, same thing. If you would have asked me where do you stand on abortion, I would have said it's immoral, it's murder, it's wrong, nobody should be allowed to do it. But now, I kind of feel like there's a few situations that a woman should be able to, choose whether or not she wants an abortion. Um, those situations to me would be if a woman was raped, a young girl was raped, there was incest involved, the fetus was endangering the mother's life. I feel like in those situations, it should be up to a mother whether or not she can choose an abortion. But I feel like all these, women who fail to use protection, who are just out being promiscuous and getting pregnant right and left and going in for abortion right and left, I feel like that shouldn't be allowed. I feel like that's wrong. I feel like that's murder only because those women are making conscious decisions to not protect themselves, and they're making the same decision to destroy the life within them. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, when it's that small, when the egg, when the fetus or whatever it's called is so small, when it's at the beginning stages, that it's not life. How could you say it's not life if it's growing and it would have been a life? That's my belief on it. But my belief on, me condemning those women for getting abortion after abortion, it contradicts the fact that I believe that if a mother is in danger of dying, if she has her child, that she has the right to get an abortion is fine. It contradicts itself. So I really don't know where I stand. I'm very on the fence on both issues. The death penalty, I feel like yes, some people do deserve to die, but no one is, no person is allowed to kill anybody. That's how I feel. No person is given that right to take someone else's life. And same with abortion. I feel like, it's wrong and all that, and it is murder, but at the same time I feel like there are some instances where it should be allowed. So does that necessarily make me hypocritical? Or does it mean that I just, is there any right or wrong answer really? I'd like to hear other people's opinions.